Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be looking at the Arteza 72 colored pencil set, and I'm going to go over what I think of them, how they compare to Prismacolor to a point, and yeah, we'll just talk about that. But I have to tell you, they sent me the 72 set. They sent me this ginormous, two of them, paper pads to color on. Huge. Let me show you. That's how huge it is, because that's a regular size of Bristol smooth cardstock. And if you don't believe me still because of scale, here is Bumblebee laying next to it. It's humongous, and there's two of them. So Arteza, you're ever so gracious, but like one sheet would have sufficed. So anyway, let's talk about these colored pencils. I am going to be, as I always am, 100% real. When I first got them, you can even ask some of my crafty friends, I was like, I don't know about these pencils. Like, I just touched upon a piece of paper with them one day, and I was like, I was the big old MEH. Meh. Okay. But then I thought, that's not accurate. I can't give an accurate assessment based on that, what I did. And you know I like to be fair. So what I did was, first of all, I had to put them in rainbow order, because they don't come like all the way from one sheet, because they come in these 3 sheets, from one sheet to the next in rainbow order. So my brain works that way. And so everything has to be in order. This is how I am. And so that's what I did. I put them all in order. Okay, there's Adia's little hand. She's going to be popping in here every now and again. So I get them ready to go. First thing I need to do is I need to try them out on Nina, and then watercolor paper, then craft, and the Arteza they sent me, the paper. I will tell you, each one of them has a number and has a name for the pencil, which I find very good, because if I'm going to tell you what I'm using, it helps to give you a number or a name either way. So that's nice. It has this full chart on the back, which I guess is kind of like a swatch. But whenever you get new mediums, you should definitely swatch them out on the favorite paper that you're going to be using them, because then you're going to get true color. So I learned a little bit more about coloring with colored pencils, because if you follow my channel, I rarely do it. And so this was actually really good for me to step outside the comfort zone. I love that there is a gray set of colored pencils in here, because the Prismacolor 72 does not have that. So, or no, am I wrong? I'll have to get back to you on that, because I might have the 48 set of Prismacolor. Okay, so what I did was, I have here on the right-hand side, I'm going to mark the papers up in just a second. I have Tim Holtz watercolor paper on the right. In the middle is the Arteza the Arteza paper they sent me in the gigantical pad. And then on the left, I have some craft cardstock. I believe that's Stampin' Up. So I am going to place down color in rainbow order to try to get those to kind of mix through or blend. And I'm trying to keep, the best advice I can give you for coloring with colored pencils is sharpen your pencil before you use it. That is probably the most useful thing I can tell you. I actually, thinking about it, like the fact that I'm not a very good colorist when it comes to this, because that means that any beginner could use these. But that was one thing I picked up on, is sharpen your pencil. It's going to make it so much better for you as you go through. Okay, so I don't have the Nina or regular cardstock on here, because I tried it and I just thought I could not get it to work very well. You need toothy paper. And so that means paper like, well, craft is fun because it's a different color, and that's just fun. But the watercolor and the Arteza papers, they have some graininess to them, so you can build up your color with each layer, and it just looks a lot better. So definitely that's the second thing I learned. The Arteza paper is great. Oh, here's my Prismacolors. So I have that set. I think I only have the 48 set, so I might be, yeah. Because I have like 2 of the 40, or 36. Oh, God. You're like, Mary, get it together. Okay. So anyway, I pulled out my blender pencil from the Prismacolor, because the Artezas don't come with a blender pencil. Neither does the Prisma, though. I had to buy that separate. So I'm going through now. I have a Prismacolor column on the right-hand side. I'm going to tell you, this is probably my least scientific attempt at comparing these colored pencils, because once I got through this demo, I was like, okay, you'll find out. I know, I'm putting you in suspense. So these are all Prismacolors that I'm playing with right now and just putting those down on each of the papers. So again, Nina or any kind of really like smooth cardstock, I could not really get to work with the colored pencils. If you have luck with that, that's awesome, but I really like the buildup of the color, so that's why I kept with these three alone. That's just my opinion. So, all right, so I get all of that down. I'm going to zoom in here. Now, in this Copic marker, I have some Gamsol liquid. And I just bought an empty Copic marker, and I decided to keep it for Gamsol because I want to color with my colored pencils more. And so that is why I'm using that. So I'm going to go down. The middle color rainbow is going to have the Gamsol. And I'm going to show you how it kind of works. So the first one was on the Tim Holtz. The second one is on the Arteza. I wanted to say about the Arteza, it's quite thin. The paper is. It's so much fun to color on. But I don't know that I would definitely use it for card making because I like, some thick cardstock if I'm going to cut out my images or things like that. This is my blender pencil that I bought. It's under the name of Prismacolor, but of course you can use it with anything. And you buy that separately from your Prismacolor set or from this set. And so I'm going to blend out these colors. It's basically just a colored pencil, like wax, but clear. And so it's going to bring all those waxes together, or all that wax together and kind of blend it out the best that it can. So it stops looking grainy and like a crayon. My opinion of these pencils as they went onto the paper was very good. They were smooth. They felt, and depending on how you hold the colored pencil, it felt like a crayon, like very soft as it went down onto the paper. Now here I did the Gamsol over the craft, which I did not like at first because I felt like it just made it wet looking and I didn't like it at first. Okay, going over to the Prismacolor, I'm going to first put down the Gamsol, then I'm going to use the other half because I didn't make two columns like a silly. So I'm just going to use half of it with the Gamsol and look at how much that blends it. I love this little marker thing. This was one of the coolest things I did recently. I saw that there was like an alcohol pen that people put Gamsol in, but the one I found was like $30-something. I was like, listen, I don't know who you're trying to play, Amazon, but it's not this one. So I just went for a $6 Copic, empty. And now I'm taking my blender pen and I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just going to mix that together and we'll get a closer, I believe I bring them up to you closer to have a look. So the difference in price between the Prismacolor 72 and the Arteza. Arteza's is $30. Prismacolor cheapest I found it was $46.99. And so we're looking at about a $17 difference between the two of them, which can be significant. Again, whenever you're comparing cheaper, or I don't want to say cheaper because I think Arteza's products are great. They are really like knocking it out of the park, to be quite honest with you. But I would say the less expensive one, to me, I don't see a huge difference. I really, truly don't. I didn't see one with my naked eye, and I don't see one except for the craft. I feel like the craft came out brighter with the Prisma, the colors that I chose. And I tried to pick comparable colors. Okay, so now we're going to color with them. So in this video, I'm not going to color with my Prismacolor pencils because I just want to focus on do these work. Sometimes comparisons are good, and sometimes you just want to know if you have a functioning medium. So that's why I did the comparison in the beginning, and now I'm just going to do these work? Do I get good results? Because I feel like with these two comparisons, it's splitting hairs. I've never used Faber-Castell colored pencils. I hear they are like the Lamborghinis of colored pencils. I use Lamborghinis because that's my dream car. But I don't have them. I think I cannot afford those right now. So I just kind of went with the more comparable in price type of pencils. So I really feel like I'd be splitting hairs if I did like a color comparison. Hopefully that makes sense. So I am using a really super duper cute image here. This little, unicorn is just adorable. And so you can see Adia on the right-hand side. She is doing her own little coloring. I'll show you how hers comes out in a little bit. But I just wanted to make some rainbow hair, really bright rainbow hair, obviously. So I'm doing that. Now, I'm not coloring these so that they're going to be usable for cards necessarily. I just want to see how they work, the pencils. But I am using the Arteza I keep saying watercolor. It's Arteza colored pencil, or just the paper pad they sent me. And I am using some Nocturne ink, which I think was a big mistake because the ink was smearing all over this piece of paper. So that was no fun. But that wasn't the focus, so I just wanted to get the colored pencils. Now, I have to say probably my favorite paper to use, well, I can't say favorite because they all have different reasons, but I really liked this one for the ease of blending, for the ease of putting the pencil down. I did not like how thin it was, and I don't like that my ink was smearing all over the place because the ink didn't smear with the others, so I don't know what happened there. So we're just doing some color swatches here on the right to kind of figure out which color purples would work the best. And Adia is my super big helper during this video. She was really, it's just great to help me out. So now I'm just going to put down some purples and just play with that. Really, that's what I'm doing here. At the very end, I'm going to show you we get to the craft cardstock, which was just super fun to do. So I am liking how these pencils are coming together, honestly. I think they work well. I like the way the setup is. I would probably get a different pencil holder besides this one because I like to keep them in rainbow order. And I feel like they get jostled around quite a bit in these little plastic cases. The tin case is great, but the plastic case, meh. There's my meh. So anyway, there's the, more finished piece. I just cut a picture out for you for that one. On this one, this is the Tim Holtz watercolor paper. Now, the above image, you can see I tried to do like a no-line pencil coloring, and I feel like I gave up on it too quickly because as I was editing the video, I was like, oh, that would have looked kind of cool to see how that would come out because I've never done no-line anything. And so, why not, right? So, but I feel like I gave up on it too easy. I'll have to go back and give that a try. Now I'm going to color this one up here. Again, I'm on the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor, and I am using these beautiful purple colors. I am putting down some darker, so I'm starting to get a little bit more technique-y with it right now. So I'm putting down some darker color, going in with the lighter color, and I used Gamsol on the last tail. I used the blending pencil on this tail. I would have to say, depending on the paper you're working, the Gamsol is easier to blend because it's just like swiping this liquid over your pencil. The blending works just as well, but you're going to have to go a little bit harder with your pressure to get the blend in, so it's more work, and then you have to clean off the pencil or sharpen it to get the color residual off. So I would have to say Gamsol is just easier, but results-wise, pretty comparable. All right, so there's that. I did that blending with the little purple hair, and that's it. This is Adia's. So this is how Adia's did hers on craft cardstock. I thought she did a phenomenal job. Look at that. She made the horse white. And I love craft cardstock because to me it's magical. The fact that you can just, you have this boring tan color cardstock and then you're going to turn it into wow, So now I'm going to do this rainbow. This rainbow is from the new Not Too Shabby release. Awesome release that she has set out. It is amazing. There are so many cute images and I feel like the images are just calling to be colored. I love them. So I'm going to go through and there's only 3 lines. So what I decided to do was make this whole image a rainbow. So I'm going to do the red, the orange and yellow for the rainbow lines. And then I'm going to do blue for the, what is it called? What are they called? The clouds. They're called clouds. I'm going to do blue for the clouds, and then I'm going to do purple for the hearts, so we can get a full gamut here of these colors. So again, I chose 3 colors that were similar, except for the blue. With the blue, I only chose 2. But I chose 3 colors in the same color hue, but different shades, so different darkness, I guess. And then I'm going to put that dark color right on the edges of each of the sides, then the medium color, then the light, and then I'm going to go back and forth with that until I get a nice blend. So I said previously in the very beginning that I felt like the Prismacolors were brighter on craft cardstock. Once I was done with this image, it was neither here nor there, to be quite honest. This was super bright and beautiful, and so that was really nice to see. I need to practice more with colored pencils. I know that. I would like to. I find them time consuming. That's why I kind of shy away from them a lot of times. My favorite medium is the Arteza water brush pens because I find that is very minimal in time. So yeah, I would like to, hone this skill quite a bit. You know me, I'm always up for a challenge. So I'm going to go through, and now you can see I'm doing the purple for the hearts. So what is my overall take on these pencils? I would say that they are definitely worth a $30 price tag for the 72 set. I think that is extremely reasonable, and I hope that in the future Arteza continues to keep reasonable pricing, because there's nothing like a company taking off and then jacking their prices. That's all just terrible. I really, really don't like that, because if you were able to get by selling them at a good price, then don't take us for our money. So that is what I will say about them. I really liked them. I enjoyed playing with them. Turns out they're pretty good stuff. Also, you have to take into account your skill level and what you find to be, what you want in your craft room. If you're just starting off, I would put these in the same category as Prismacolor. I know that's like gasping, that's shocking, but I'm also not a professional colorist, and one that may think completely differently than me. So I can just give you my amateur opinion. I also want to say that Arteza does reach out to me and asks me to do reviews on their products, which I'm happy to do. And so far, the only thing I've been mildly disappointed with was the gargantuan size of the paper pad that they sent me. But other than that, I find that this has been, they've been really good. Everything that's come to me, I've given you the best and most honest, unbiased opinion that I can. So hopefully this helped you. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, and I'll list what I used below if you're interested. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.